Hello, I'm Peter Bergman. This is my official YouTube channel. I'll be updating you with the latest news, so please subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to our channel, my fabulous drama-obsessed squad. Today is a spectacularly beautiful day in the digital universe, and we have a monumental amount of ground to cover. Grab your oversized iced coffees and strap in, because the tea we are about to spill is absolutely scalding, and we are diving headfirst into the madness of Genoa City. Let's get right into it. My jaw is literally on the floor right now. Besties, we need to hold a literal intervention right now. I am shaking, I am spiraling, and I am sitting here in my bedroom at 3 a.m. hitting record with bloodshot eyes, because if I don't vent about this latest drop right this very second, I am going to spontaneously combust. The sheer audacity, the emotional whiplash, the absolute chaos of what is going down in Genoa City is pushing me to the absolute brink. We have corporate takeovers, we have messy exes, we have unhinged family dynamics, and I am low-key losing my mind over every single frame of it. First of all, we need to talk about Audra Charles, because what in the actual alternate dimension is happening with her right now? At the coffee shop in the park, Audra literally bumps into Holden Novak, and instead of freezing him out with her usual Ice Queen glare, she actually hugs him. She hugs him. Squad. Holden tells her that Malcolm is officially being discharged from the hospital today, and Audra just melts. Holden is standing there looking at her like she just grew a second head, completely stunned by this random act of kindness. And Audra, in true defensive queen fashion, snaps back that she isn't a literal monster. Mainly, it's because what Malcolm went through is triggering her deep-seated memories of what Amy Lewis went through with her own illness. That trauma is bubbling up, and it is hitting Audra so hard that her carefully constructed walls are just crumbling. It's giving vulnerability, it's giving layers, and I am totally here for it, no cap. Then, just when I thought we were having a tender moment, the conversation violently pivots to Noah Newman. Noah is officially reopening the shadow room in Genoa City, and the internet is already buzzing. Holden is immediately giving off major uneasy vibes about this whole development. But Audra is practically vibrating with intrigue. She straight up admits that she is going to be front and center on opening night. Holden, who is clearly the only person with a working brain cell in this dynamic, immediately calls her out. He suspects that Audra's sudden interest in the club scene is entirely because Noah is running the place. Holden is looking at her like, "Girl, are you seriously about to do this?" Because Audra is so clearly, undeniably, and embarrassingly obsessed with her ex, Holden asks the million-dollar question, does she really want to start a literal war with Sienna Bacall and invite all this unnecessary drama into her life? Hot take, but I am actually ascending at the thought of Audra and Sienna going toe-to-toe in the middle of a crowded nightclub. Audra is a messy, messy queen, and she knows exactly what she is doing. She is walking right into the fire, and I am going to be seated with popcorn when it all blows up in her face. Wait, I'm literally yapping right now about hypothetical club fights. Let's get back to the actual tea. Over at Crimson Lights, the vibe is entirely different but equally chaotic. Noah is holding court with Nick and Sharon Newman, hyping up the grand reopening of the Shadow Room. He's talking about all the insane chatter online, and you can tell he is so ready for this comeback. Nick is supportive but distracted because he casually drops that he's heading over to see the mustache himself, Victor Newman, to deal with the Matt situation. We will get to that absolute fever dream of a subplot in a minute, because my brain is basically a buffering wheel just thinking about it. Yet, the real focus at the coffee house shifts to Sharon, who is aggressively worried about Phyllis. Phyllis has officially stepped down from Newman Enterprises, and Sharon is acting like Phyllis is about to walk into the ocean. And honestly, Sharon is kind of right to be worried, because Phyllis is currently at Society, completely fumbling the bag with her son Daniel. Noah and Sharon literally have front row seats to the most cringe-inducing, painful conversation of the century. Phyllis is trying to mend fences with Daniel, but it is a catastrophic failure. Daniel is not holding back. He is absolutely brutal, telling Phyllis straight to her face that she hasn't learned a single thing from her mistakes. He points out the glaringly obvious fact that she didn't leave Newman Enterprises out of the goodness of her heart. She was forced out. She didn't surrender voluntarily. Phyllis, realizing that Daniel is not going to coddle her and is actually holding her accountable, goes into full defense mode. When Daniel treats her like she's just playing the professional victim again, Phyllis literally storms out of the restaurant. Is it just me, or did they completely fumble the bag on this one? I mean, Daniel's being so harsh, but at the same time, when has Phyllis ever taken genuine accountability without kicking and screaming? Daniel is standing firm, convinced that Phyllis has done absolutely nothing to deserve forgiveness. But here comes Sharon, stepping into her therapist era, ready to defend her former mortal enemy. Sharon points out that Phyllis desperately needs validation right now. After the horrific mess that went down at the clinic, Phyllis is spiraling and desperately needs some semblance of control over her life. Sharon recognizes the signs of a woman on the edge. She tells Noah and Daniel that if they treat Phyllis like a total outcast, she is going to have zero motivation to actually change or make the right choices. Storytime Squad, do you remember when Sharon was the outcast? Do you remember when the entire town treated her like dirt? She knows exactly what that isolation does to a person's psyche. It makes you reckless. So in a shocking twist of sisterhood, Sharon actually chases Phyllis down and finds her at the cafe. Sharon looks Phyllis dead in the eye and starts giving her a motivational speech. Sharon knows that Phyllis is not a quitter. She pushes Phyllis, challenges her, and demands that she prove everyone wrong. I was screaming at my screen, women supporting women. In Genoa City, it's more likely than you think, and I am low-key obsessed with this dynamic. Meanwhile, back at Crimson Lights, we have Kane Ashby giving us that intense, brooding Billy Flynn energy, meeting up with Lily Winters. The conversation starts off so sweet. They are talking about Malcolm's recovery, and Kane casually mentions that he had this beautiful dream about Lily. It's giving romance, it's giving history, it's giving everything the Day One stands have been begging for. But then the waterworks start. Kane gets a group text from the twins, Maddie and Charlie, and they are just pouring their hearts out, expressing their total approval and gratitude for everything Kane has done to help Malcolm through this crisis. Kane reads the text and literally chokes up. He is so overwhelmed with emotion, and it is genuinely such a touching moment. You can see the weight of the world lifting off his shoulders, knowing his kids are proud of him. Totally riding that emotional high, Kane eagerly plans to meet Lily for lunch later, right after she finishes her super secret, highly mysterious meeting with Victor Newman. And besties, this is where the plot goes completely off the rails into pure, unadulterated madness. Let's talk about Victor and his hostage. I mean, house guest Matt at the Newman Ranch. Victor is absolutely refusing to let Matt leave the property. Matt is basically begging for basic human rights at this point, repeatedly asking if he can just take a shower. Victor, acting like the world's most terrifying Airbnb host, finally relents and arranges for Matt to shower and gives him a fresh set of clothes. Literally, what is happening? Nick shows up at the ranch right in the middle of this and is looking at Victor like, Dad, what in the actual psychological thriller are you doing with this man? Victor, in his classic rumbling, ominous voice, insists that he is putting Matt through a rigorous, serious test. Victor tells Nick that if Matt passes this bizarre loyalty test, they can use him to their advantage. But if Matt fails to prove his absolute sincerity, Victor coldly declares that he will not hesitate to completely and utterly crush him. I am terrified. I am shaking. Victor Newman is out here playing 4D chess with people's lives, and Matt is just trying to get some shampoo. Then we hit the absolute peak of the week. In the upcoming Friday episode, Lily finally arrives at the ranch for her meeting, demanding to know why Victor summoned her. And squad, I was not ready. Victor reveals that since he has successfully clawed Newman Enterprises back into his grasp, he is actually going to honor his word. He is handing Chancellor over to Lily, just like he promised. Lily is going to win. My girl is finally getting her massive, undeniable victory. I was jumping up and down in my room, literally knocking things off my desk. Lily is so ecstatic, so thrilled. that she practically flies over to society to break the news to Kane. And then she drops the biggest bomb of all. Lily looks at Kane and asks him how he feels about running the company for her. She is handing him the keys to the kingdom. She wants Kane to step up and take the reins of chancellor. I am unwell. The trust. The power move. Lily is basically saying, I own this now and I want you to rule it for me. It is the ultimate flex and Kane is going to lose his mind. But of course, there is always a catch. Back at the ranch, Nick is whining to Victor about this exact move. Nick is complaining that handing Chancellor over to Lily is a massive mistake because he knows, without a shadow of a doubt, that this decision is going to deeply hurt Nicky Newman. Nicky's going to feel completely betrayed that Victor gave the legacy company away, even if it was a strategic promise. The family fallout is going to be apocalyptic, and Nick is just bracing for impact. Finally, just to put a neat little bow on this chaotic package, Matt steps out of his Newman-sponsored shower wearing his fresh new outfit. He looks at Victor and admits that he feels like a completely new man. But the anxiety is eating him alive. Matt desperately wants to know what his fate is going to be. He is staring down the barrel of the Newman patriarch, and Victor just smirks, sitting him down to explain the exact parameters of this twisted master plan to test his sincerity. Squad, I cannot even begin to process all of this. Lily winning Chancellor. Audra plotting a club infiltration. Sharon playing savior to Phyllis. And Victor running a psychological boot camp in his living room. The writers are feeding us so well, and my blood pressure is through the roof. I need you all to flood the comments right now and tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. Until next time, stay messy, stay obsessed, and I will see you in the next breakdown.
Thank you for watching my video. I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.